I was thinking about this the other day, that sometimes the only thing that's missing is some more time. Like you could be on the right path. You could be applying the right efforts. You could be moving the right levers. Everything is, from an inputs perspective, you're doing all the right things. And all that's left is to inject more time. And that can be really hard sometimes because if we're not seeing the results that we expect from the inputs on the time frame in which we expect to see them, we can become disheartened. We can start to reevaluate our efforts and ask ourselves, am I doing the right thing? Maybe I need to refocus over here. Maybe I need to pivot into some other thing. And I found so much of my life when I've been successful has come as a result of just staying in my lane, keeping my head down, keeping my eyes focused on where I'm trying to go, and not getting distracted and asking myself if maybe there's a better way. Now, yes, you do need to sometimes pivot and adapt. And that's one of the hardest questions to answer, is like when to know, should you change course? But for most people, I would say the answer is not to change course. It is to stay headed in the direction that you're going currently, and not to get distracted, not to convince yourself that you're not doing the right things, because probably you are. Probably the thing that just is missing is time. And this came to mind because somebody on Twitter the other day posted a picture of their YouTube analytics graph for a video where I think it was like 15 days in or 10 days in. For the first 10 days, the video had been doing very poorly. And then somewhere around day 10 till day 12, it started doing really well. And it creates this funny image on a graph where it's just kind of flatlined, and then all of a sudden it spikes up. And I've had a couple videos that do a very similar thing, actually. One of them, very interestingly, it was the second video that we posted, called 5 Regrets from My 20s. It was the second video that we posted last year in like October, right after we took this new, more intentional approach to the main channel. And the first video that we'd released doing that is still to this day the most viral video we've ever created. And that has maybe 1.5 million views. So we thought with the second video, it was going to do well. And yet for the first 100 days, so first 3 months, over 3 months, it only got 18,000 views. And so that's a lot of views, don't get me wrong, but like by comparison to the other videos on the channel, they had all cracked 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 by this point. So this video was a dud. It was lagging behind every other video. It was crazy. And we couldn't really, I wasn't really sure why. I thought it was just as good as all the other videos, but for whatever reason, just never got the love I thought it deserved. And then something happened. At day 100, it was at 18,000 views. 2 months later, at day 70, it was over 230,000 views. And so within that 70-day, 2-month period, it gained 220,000 views. And if you look at this on the graph, it's really funny. It's just kind of this flat line, and then all of a sudden this insane spike out of nowhere. It's unclear to this day what exactly happened, why the algorithm decided to start loving it. But this happens. This happens more often than not in life, where it takes a really long time to start seeing any kind of movement. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it goes gangbusters. And there's this quote, I can't remember who said it, but it was something to the effect that nothing happens and then everything happens. And that's been true in so many different aspects of my life, both in my businesses, where it feels like we're just pushing the rock up the hill and nothing's happening. And then all of a sudden it goes over the peak, it crests the hill, and it's rolling down. Like, it just happens instantly sometimes. More often than not, actually. And you can't really predict when it's going to happen because you're behind the rock, you're pushing it. You can't see the peak necessarily. And so all you can do is continue the hard work of shouldering the boulder forward and showing up, because time is an investor's best friend. And sometimes all you need is more time. So I hope this encourages you, if you're working on something right now that's not seeing the traction that you hoped it would, that you just keep moving forward. Don't give up. This is where most people quit, and it's the reason why you will be successful if you continue forward, doing what others will not do. And remind yourself, this is what hard feels like. So recalibrate your expectations. Say, I'm playing the long game, and I mean long game, not just months, but years, decades. Play the long game, and you can't lose. So I hope this brings you guys a little bit of value. We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, stay hyper-focused, my friends.